old cowpoke went riding out one dark and a windy day. Upon a ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw, plowing through the ragged skies and up a cloudy draw. Yippee-yi-oh, yippee-yi-oh, yippee-yi-oh.
Good morning, Ghost Riders in the sky. Good morning. We'll see if that survives. I've got to show this because I was absolutely amazed to see this. I always look at what's going on with my creator's channel, and this popped up this morning. Okay, let's see if y'all can see that. Good morning, Dar.
Ahoy.
And how are you doing today?
Old, ugly, and tired, just like always.
All right. Our Friday fun stream has been banned in Russia.
Huh.
Our last Friday stream was banned in Russia.
Oh, because you
amazing.
played Frankie Lane's version of Ghost Riders. Yeah. Well, Russians just don't like fun.
Isn't that something else?
Yeah. Well, the hell with them.
Yeah. I am in the process of muting that particular. YouTube gives you a tool where you can actually mute copyrighted music.
Yes, you better get her done.
Oh, it's already working. I'm already doing it. In fact, it should be done here momentarily. Let's see here.
Good. And it's all good.
But yeah, I just thought that was funny as all get out.
Well, what about Scribe getting banned in all those countries now?
Oh, yeah.
Video. That was funny as hell.
That was absolutely funny as hell.
So, I don't mean that in a bad way because I love Scribe and his work. I mean, those TED Excellences are, when I'm out on my bike and that, I love listening to those. Just because
they hurt my brain.
Sometimes, yeah, they do, because you're just like, how the hell are these people even, coming up with them? But yeah, I do enjoy those. So that's always a,
I enjoy listening to them too. But man, I rarely get to listen to them live.
Yeah, see, that's the issue. I never get to listen to them. Well, I don't really get to listen to a lot of things. The only this morning I listened to Jack's Sunshine Stream live.
Yeah, I did too.
His yeah, I saw you in the chat there.
I was
but yeah. So every once in a while I get to do some stuff, but very seldom ever.
I woke up at 3 this morning.
Hey,
and I decided and couldn't go back to sleep. So I got up and decided the wife was still asleep. I thought, well, let me surprise her with a nice breakfast. So fried up a bunch of bacon, made some sausage gravy, have you ever made 7-Up biscuits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not not my preferred method, but yeah.
I made up some 7-Up biscuits this morning because I really like them with apple butter.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Like all Bisquick biscuits, biscuits that type, they all have a tendency to be dry. So,
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, they do.
they're not like a yeast biscuit, that's, moisture, that maintains the steam inside and maintains a little bit more moisture.
Yeah.
So, you've got to use a jelly or jam or my preference, apple butter.
No, my preference for biscuits is to smother them in gravy.
Well, yeah, that too. A good
That's the only
sausage,
way to go. That's
a
the only
good
way to go.
sausage gravy. Yeah, you're right about that too. But
That's the only
that
way.
that
That with fried
that's
potatoes is the only way to fly.
that's what made me a little bit mad there at Walmart because
Yeah.
Walmart and Winn-Dixie and Publix, because all three of them were out of apple butter for about 3 weeks. And Walmart finally got some in, and I really prefer the Musselman's brand of apple butter, and they got in a new brand called White House,
Yeah, that's the Walmart brand.
and it's just it's just off.
Yeah, it is.
It's just
All the So why don't you just make your own?
it's just not as good as the other apple butter.
So why don't you just make your own?
Because I don't know how.
Look
And
up a
we go,
recipe. Apple butter is easy peasy to make.
and I've never made apple butter. I've never thought about making apple butter.
Oh, my grandmother used to make it all the time.
Let's see, home.
When you get a couple bushels of apples, and as they start getting mellow, and kind of
Right.
mushy. Well, that's when Grandma she used to say, "Well, time to make apple butter."
Okay, let's see here. Let's see, 5.5 pounds of apples, 4 cups of sugar, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. What else here? Quarter teaspoon of cloves and a quarter teaspoon of salt. Dump and cook. Peel and chop apple. You've got to wait for these apples to get old.
Why do you say that?
Because it says soft apples.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Wait for them to get old.
So you got to wait for your apples to cook for 11 hours.
Yeah, it
Holy
depends.
shit. Then uncover and cook an hour longer.
Yeah. Well,
So
you can
basically,
use
you just cook the hell out of it.
basically it's just apples, right? Soft apples. You cook them down with those ingredients in them, right? You
Right,
cook them down till they become that right consistency. You can do that like in Instapot or something like that. Speed it up. Don't take no 11 hours. And you want all the spices and everything to go through your apple butter, right? And
right,
that's basically all there is to it. That's all apple butter is. It's just a way of using those apples you don't want to eat anymore.
right. Okay.
So, because I can guarantee my grandmother did not cook those apples for 11 hours. Then what she'd do is, put them in canning jars, right?
Probably did it in a pressure cooker.
More than likely, yeah, knowing her, yeah, probably. But all I know is like whenever you went over to grandma's house, it's so if it was summertime, then you put honey and butter on your biscuits, and if it was fall, wintertime, you had apple butter to put on biscuits and toast. And my wife makes applesauce all the time. So
No, I've made applesauce, but we just don't have bushels of apples laying around the house anymore.
no, not nowadays. No, but you
So,
don't have to make that big a batch either. You can make a smaller batch. Get you a couple jars of. So just saying.
Yep.
And what the hell? I thought we were going to talk about Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, well, we
That's
are,
the only
but
reason I showed up. I care less about this cooking crap.
but I was just gonna say, so I made all this stuff for the wife for breakfast, right?
Yeah.
She comes out of the shower. I've got everything ready. All I got to do is make up her plate. Honey, I'm not hungry. I'm not feeling good this morning. I don't think I'm going to eat any breakfast. All I'm going to have is my coffee. I'm like, I've 3 hours of cooking here, and you're not going to eat breakfast. Oh, well, everything went into the refrigerator. Anyway, okay, so you want to start off with Tucker.
Well, that was the theme of the show.
And everybody is mad at Tucker. So far so that the majority leader of the Senate, Chuck Schumer, is demanding that Rupert Murdoch cancel Tucker's show. Force him to not do any more broadcasts releasing these videos, which, quote unquote, have been selectively edited to lie to the American people.
Unlike the original videos that have been released already,
that were
CNN's been playing nonstop,
selectively edited,
yeah,
and had sound added where there was no sound,
yeah,
and jump cuts everywhere.
But Tucker's the bad guy.
So, there's Tucker said 43,000 hours of video that he got, most of it useless, just, showing empty hallways.
Yes.
And the video of, the shaman. I really hope that he uses that video. His lawyers use that video and go back and demand a retrial.
I hope they do too.
Because, and what I hope, here's how this has to play out for it to work. One, that they asked for, that they subpoenaed the video, demanded the video, and the government refused to release it to his defense lawyers. All right. Because if the government refused to release that to the defense lawyers, all video with him in it, then he's really got a case for demanding a new trial.
Not only that, but he has a valid civil rights case too.
Exactly. There's all kinds of crap that could go on. If the government refused to give any of that videos, or if the judge refused those videos to be played in court. Because if you're denied an opportunity to case videos that support your defense, that's just as bad as the government not allowing you to have the videos in the first place.
Pretty much.
So, but it is so bad, though. Everybody piling on to Tucker that even Brett Baer did it.
Really?
Yes. And Fox News anchor Brett Baer confirmed he has concerns about the documentary produced by network's leading primetime host Tucker Carlson, focusing on the January 6th attack.
He's quite
Yeah.
Yeah, see, everybody can have all their concerns and stuff they want to, but it's called freedom of press, right?
Yeah.
And Chuck Schumer, just by standing up there, is doing exactly the opposite.
Oh, like that letter I showed him. I showed last week that Schumer and I can't remember the black guy that just minority leader in the House.
Oh yeah, Tim Scott.
I can't. Huh?
Tim Scott.
No. The Democrat minority leader
Oh,
in the House.
Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah. I don't know why I can't remember his name, but half the
I
time.
don't know why you can't either, but it's. I
Anyway,
think it's because you're typical old person living in Florida. Maybe that's it.
well, he was never on my radar before, and all of a sudden he's minority leader in the House, and it's like, where in the hell did this guy come from?
Yeah, well, Democrats are really good at those, pulling somebody out of nowhere. I mean,
I mean,
that's
he
the Barack
he
Obama story.
he was a serious backbencher, and then all of a sudden he's minority leader.
Yeah.
What the hell? Anyway, they sent a letter to Rupert Murdoch. I don't know if you saw it last week when I showed it, demanding that Fox News uh, pull shows off the air.
Yeah, I did. And
And now,
um,
how is that not a direct violation of the First Amendment?
well,
Because these
not only
guys are
that.
using their official position within the government.
Yeah, see, so not only is that a direct violation of the First Amendment, but it's also, um, it's definitely an overreach. Um, and it's definitely, um, can we say, fascist behavior?
Yeah, it's something.
Can we say that out loud?
Yeah,
All right.
I would say we can. But yeah, there's just so many problems with what's going on with this, with what the Democrats are doing right now. Um,
Huh.
I mean, all the news medias, all the talk shows, they're all excoriating Tucker and McCarthy, calling them traitors. Uh, uh, of course, you got the battle axes on the View doing their stuff. CNN, and they're all playing. Well, Tucker said, Tucker said this, during it, and how he hated everything that Trump was doing, and he hated the protesters. How dare he now come out and do this reporting?
Yeah.
Uh, by the way, morning, Sean and Badger, Becca, JoJo. Oh, Rex showed up.
Hey, Rex. Good morning. Good morning, Badger. And of course, to always a good morning to our fair maiden, Becca Fairley. She's fairly.
Oh, Rex, it's just not Fox argues that. MSNBC will argue that when they get hauled
Yeah.
into court. CNN has argued that when they got hauled into court.
Yeah, it's not exclusive to Fox. It's not exclusive to any of them, actually.
Right.
So
Oh,
it's
you'll catch
not.
up in no time, nobody. But yeah,
Yeah.
this whole mess here, and I dare anybody to, well, they're already doing it, so why should I bother him daring them? To say that one person's selective editing is, the selective editing done by the January 6th committee and all them people, versus what Tucker showed is, better.
Well,
I mean, when, like with the shaman there, Tucker showed almost every minute that the shaman was in the White House or in the Capitol building. And
well,
he even showed him leading the prayer there at the very end before he left.
so the thing of it is, all right. is Tucker showed more video that had not been seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really say it was selectively edited when he's showing video that's not been shown before. So, even if it was, let's just say that Tucker's video was selectively edited, which we know it was. Okay.
Oh yeah, all
Because
videos
there's no way you can
selectively
show
edited.
4,000 hours of video, right, on
Right.
TV. So, yeah, I'll give him that. All right. But was it deceiving in any way um, as compared to what's already been shown?
I would say no.
And did the video that Tucker show actually back up his point?
I
Because
would
he
say
said that
yes.
we were lied to. So in reality, it's no different than CNN or NBC or any of the other and I'm not giving Fox any passes or anything because in a lot of ways they're just as bad as, if not worse than the rest of them. So yeah. So how dare Tucker show us the full video with context? Someone should fire that man. All right, Beckett. Yeah. See, that's exactly the point I was trying to make. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like uh, when the media and when the left, well, when anybody wants to claim that a video makes them looks bad, first words out of their mouth is selective editing. I mean,
yeah,
they did it for years with Project Veritas. And all the videos he shows is selectively edited. And
yep,
that it gets used and bannered about so much. I mean, it was even used and the one argument, if you want to start an argument with certain individuals, especially Monkey, you want to start an argument with him, tell him that the video against the um, I can't remember her name now. Brett Bart released a video of a woman that told a white farmer to go seek one of his own kind for a bankruptcy case
yeah,
because she wasn't going to deal with a white farmer. And she said this in front of a NAACP meeting. And everybody in the NAACP cheered her. And Monkey and Scribe, oh, he selectively edited that video to make her look bad because she was forced to resign
yeah,
her position in the government over that video. And everybody was on beating up on Brett. And we're like, wait a minute. Okay, he didn't show the whole thing true, but those words came out of her mouth. She made a racist comment. She dealt with this white farmer in a racist way. So I mean, selective. Journalism has always been about selective editing.
yeah.
It's always been. There's never been, especially television and radio. You've never heard an entire speech. And we're going to have some more selective editing going on here from CPAC that's busting up in the news right now.
Oh, that's a fact.
Okay, with Michael Knowles and his speech. But none of these people ever give the whole speech. In fact, that's one of the things that CNN berated themselves over was that they said, oh, we gave Trump too much time. That's why he got elected, because we gave him too much time. We'll never give him so much time on the air again for his next campaign and his campaign speeches. We'll edit his speeches down. Remember that?
Yep.
Okay. So CNN actually admits that they intentionally will politicians or people they don't like, they will intentionally give them less airtime. They will cover them less, which means that and what coverage they do give will be more negative coverage in order to sway an election or the public opinion on a matter. And that's what's happening right now with Tucker Carlson. And, I'm not saying Brett Baer should be forced to support what Tucker's doing. Okay.
No.
Okay. Because they both have, but Brett Baer is supposed to be a journalist, not an opinion man. He runs a news show, an actual news programming, not an opinion program. And if he's got news facts that opposes what Tucker's showing, that's one thing. But for him to come out as he did and say, well, we don't support the violence that happened. We at Fox News don't support this, and we don't support that happened these days. That's just...
Tucker made it very clear that he didn't support the violence either.
Right. Well, nobody supported the violence.
No, nobody would ever. And so the thing of it is I think a lot of people are overreacting. And they need to knock it the hell off. And, now you know who loves the state and who doesn't. So, just saying.
Yeah.
The old tyranny versus liberty. And you know who likes tyranny now.
And I'm not going to show the videos that Tucker showed. They're getting so much airtime that there's plenty of places to see them if you want to. All right. And at this point, what I'm just going to say about it is I'm glad that these other videos are out there. And every one of these journalists, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, they should not be pissed at Tucker. They should be pissed at the Democrats who withheld the videos from them for the past 2 years.
If we had journalists, that would be true.
They should be
not
so
have journalists. We have propagandists.
True. But if I think that's what it is they're more angry that Tucker got the videos before them.
You think?
And and Tucker's had them for 3 weeks. And I would imagine, he's probably got at least 100 hours worth of video that he could play if he wanted to.
They're putting together a big series for Fox Nation or something, right?
I tell you,
if
that's
they're not,
a subscription
they're
service.
the boat.
Since that's a subscription service that they actually did that, I would actually subscribe for 1 month just to watch it.
Well, I did the free year thing,
right?
Because being a veteran and all, I did the free year thing, and I found that the only thing that I was really interested in, really watched much, was Cops. because I loved that TV show when it was on.
Yeah, I don't watch. I mean, like I said, I don't watch much television anymore. Even though there is this new show on one of the networks. We watched it last night. It's Will Trent.
Yeah.
It's sort of a cross between Monk and oh, I'm trying to think of the other private detective show where um anyway, you know, a cop with special, a weirded out cop that nobody likes to work with, but he solves crimes through his intuition.
Right.
But I mean, it seemed like to be a pretty decent show. I've watched the first couple of episodes now.
I haven't watched it, so
Yeah. Um, but yeah, uh, I would hope that the rest of this media would go to McCarthy, or I would hope McCarthy would, hey, CNN, here's the same 43,000 hours of video we gave Tucker. ABC, you want that 43,000 hours? Here, have access to it.
actually, I think it should be released to the American public. Everybody should be able to see it.
My only problem with that and it's not a problem with the American people having access to it. It's the uh, computer and servers and everything else involved. The actual mechanics of putting 43,000 hours of video online on demand to anybody who wants to see it. You know what
Okay.
you see what I'm saying?
I do, but
That'd be one hell of a technological nightmare.
no one. That ain't nothing but a thing.
Better things later. You gotta leave, Rex. Okay, well, have a good one then.
Yeah, see, I think you're thinking old school here. I don't think putting that much video out there is that hard of a thing.
And yeah, that like Tucker blurred that one door as he was asked to by the Capitol Hill police.
Yeah.
So the
We all know
Capitol.
that's the door to the Senate chamber, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that was the door to the Senate chamber, or if I did, I've forgotten about it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
But yeah, there's if you think that they could do it
They could do
technologically
it.
wise and
Yeah, they could do it easily.
not have it crash in servers
Well, see, that's
everywhere.
the thing is, you know, because a lot of people would want to go out and watch it right away. But so, okay, so if they can put thousands of movies out there for people to watch anytime they want to, they can put this out there to watch. So I'm just saying it can be done. I don't think it's as difficult as you think it is.
Well, like you said, I may be too old school to understand what they can do.
Well,
Uh,
I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
go as far as call you a boomer, but I'm just
Hey,
saying I'm
I
not
am
gonna go
what I
that far.
am.
Yeah, not
I'm
gonna
not
go that
ashamed of
far.
being a boomer.
No, and I don't mean boomer in the fact that you were born like a long time ago.
But I'd fully admit I have not kept up this past decade on a lot of the technological advances. Okay, I've just not kept up with everything. So it's like I mean, I did not really even realize that you can buy terabyte thumb drives, flash drives
Yes,
right now.
you can.
And I bought, and I've got a 2 terabyte one and a 1 terabyte one last week. So,
I don't need that much, so it doesn't matter to me. But just saying.
well, like I said, I'm as soon as we're done doing a stream,
Yeah.
I download it from StreamYards to my thumb drive.
Oh, well, see,
Now
that makes sense. Yeah.
that way, even when YouTube does decide to pull one, like they pulled 7 of my videos that I can never recover.
Yeah.
So now I download them before they can do anything to them.
Yeah. Probably a good idea. Probably a very good
So
idea.
I'm just mad I've lost them those 7 streams to forever. I can never get them back. So, but that is what it is. Okay, even prone channels manage more hours of video than that. Oh,
Yep.
corn channels. Okay, I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I think what I think would happen. Okay, honestly, what I think would happen would be, let's say they did put, they had all the server set, they put all that stuff out there. I still think they'd end up, at least for the first 3 days, within the first 24 hours, the servers would crash due to so much people attempting to access them all at one time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that happens, quite often with things. But
Right.
that may be the case. But overall, all in all, I just don't think it's that big a deal.
Okay. I was just thinking that initial rush to get on there, that there would be too much for the systems to handle.
Yeah, that might be the case for a day or two. But
So,
and then there's ways of doing it. If the government can't do it, they could give it to Netflix or one of those, and they could put it out. Just saying. So
and
there's more than one way to skin that cat.
and unfortunately, I mean, who in their right mind, individuals like you and myself, we don't have the time or the technology available at our fingertips to sit there and scan 43,000 hours of video. So we would rely on an organization like Fox News or CNN or some other organization that had the time, the technology, and the manpower to go through all of those and edit out the stuff that we wanted to see.
Yeah.
That okay, uh, and put together, say, the sequential from all the different camera shots of the shaman's entire time that he's in the building, from the
Right.
time he entered to the time he left. Okay, so we would still rely on somebody else doing selective editing
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
to get
and that's definitely the case. You're never going to get away from that. But
right.
yeah, because I'm not going to sit there for 40,000 hours and watch that shit. Just not.
Yeah. Well, none of us are. Realistically, none of us are. And that's what I'm saying is, you know, and
There are people that would do it though, and see, and that's the thing by putting it out to the public, right? Then um, you're not relying on you know some news organization because you know that there are those internet spurgs, right? That would sit there and watch all that and cut it up and do all
right,
that and put it out, and so you would have people on both sides that are pro freedom put out stuff, and you have the pro tyranny people put out stuff. So in reality, narratives would be formed and all that, and because nobody really trusts the news anymore. All right. So it would give rise to, um, to other forms of media.
Right.
4chan, 8chan. Yeah, Sean,
All
you're
right.
right. Yeah,
And
the Chans would jump it, would be the ones.
and CK brought up a good point here. Uh, Now, I have not personally watched the videos. Okay, I've watched all these videos. I've not personally watched them, but one of many comments I've read in the past 24 hours was that there was a video of Pelosi talking to that lieutenant that shot Babbitt
Yeah.
just prior to him shooting her. So the question is now, did Pelosi order him to shoot someone?
You know, we may never know.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we may never know because he is being shielded from all investigations.
Yeah, you notice he went on 60 Minutes and basically what what he said on 60 Minutes would have been enough to actually that was firing offense because he said he couldn't see clearly and he just fired.
Right.
So that's clearly a
You never shoot without in a situation like that.
yeah, knowing your target, knowing what's behind your target, four basic rules of gun safety. But yeah, so the thing of it is, what he said on 60 Minutes should have been enough to get him fired.
But
So,
and by the way, thank you, CK, for that comment because you're absolutely right. Somebody ordered the police to open the door. Someone ordered the tear gas and everything else. There were people that gave direct orders. Just as when Trump requested additional forces and everybody refused them from Pelosi through down to the mayor.
yep.
All right. When Trump, and somehow, the media twisting Trump's words, telling everybody to peaceably demonstrate. And, well, he gave them orders to ransack the Capitol.
Yeah,
No, he did.
talk about your selective editing.
Right. The video of Epps actually being in the building.
Yeah.
Oh, when he said he never entered the building. So there's so much wrong here. And I'm not saying that there aren't people that deserve to be in jail for what they did that day. There are people that deserve to be in jail. Uh, the people who destroyed items, the people who vandalized, people who broke out windows. Okay, they absolutely deserve to have served jail time. But so many of them deserve nothing more than a $10 fine for trespass. And a year, you can't come back to the Capitol for a year. So there's a lot wrong with what's going on there. And unfortunately, the media and the left wing have managed to spin a narrative that I doubt will ever be corrected. Because listen how every time you talk about January 6th, it's it was a riot. It was the worst thing to happen since the Civil War. On and on and on. So the inflammatory and negative verbiage that has been attached to everything that happened on January 6th. that we'll never get past it. At least not in our lifetimes, I don't think. What do you think there, Dar?
Probably not.
So, okay, I already mentioned Michael Knowles. He gave a speech at CPAC. I actually did listen to this live when it happened. And I didn't think nothing about it. It was like, okay, yeah, I agree with what the man is saying. So let's listen to his speech here. And then the coverage of it.
It sometimes feels as if all conservatives do is defend the policies that the liberals fought for 10 years ago. The clearest example of this is the battle over transgenderism. On the one side of the debate, you've got the liberals who argue that third graders should be taught to change their sex in schools. On the other side of the debate, you've got the conservatives who say that we should wait until fourth grade. Doesn't seem like much of a difference to me. The problem with transgenderism is not that it's inappropriate for children under the age.
He's talking about the bill here in Florida.
Yeah,
that third grade, fourth grade comment.
Of 9. The problem with transgenderism is that it isn't true. The problem with transgenderism is that it puts forward a delusional vision of human nature that denies the reality and importance of sexual difference and complementarity. The problem with transgenderism is that its acceptance at any level necessarily entails the complete destruction of women's bathrooms, women's sports, all of the specific rights and spaces that women currently enjoy.
I can't find nothing wrong so far with what he said.
No.
How about you?
Nope, can't. Not so far.
He's absolutely right. The idea of transgenderism and you can all of a sudden decide you're a woman, is everything that women have fought for under Title IX and other laws, giving them equal protections and such is now being destroyed.
There can be no middle way in dealing with transgenderism. It is all or nothing. Transgenderism is true. If men really can become women, then it's true for everybody of all ages. If transgenderism is false, as it is, if men really can't become women, as they cannot, then it's false for everybody too.
And men, he's absolutely right here. Men cannot become women. Your chromosomal makeup is not going to change. Your DNA is not going to change. All you can do is alter your body surgically.
Pretty much.
Or by taking pills and shots and other stuff. But you can force your body to grow hair. You can force your body to grow boobs, or you can have boobs implanted. But you cannot force your body to grow new genitals or wombs or testes or anything else. That's not going to happen.
And if it's false, then we should not indulge it, especially since that indulgence requires taking away the rights and customs of so many people. If it is false, then for the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology at every level. It's simple. It is as simple as the advice Don Corleone gave to Johnny Fontaine. You can act like a man. What's the matter with you? We talk a lot about rights, and rights are very important, but so are duties. And men have a duty to act like men It's not complicated.
Okay, so that was the speech he gave that has got everybody upset. All right. This is the headline. This is Rolling Stone's headline, but it's pretty much a headline across everybody else, every place else, if you
Well,
look
yeah,
it
because
up.
they all copy each other.
Right. CPAC speakers of the eradication of transgenderism, and somehow claims he's not calling for the elimination of transgendered people. I didn't hear him call for the elimination of people.
No, neither did I.
All right. The rights war on queer and trans people took center stage at the CPAC as Michael Knowles on Saturday called for the eradication of transgenderism. During his speech on Saturday, Knowles told the crowd, for the good of society, ... meaning we were editing out, selectively editing what he said. Transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology at every level.
Yeah, see, that's getting rid of an ideology, not people. Big difference.
Right. Knowles subsequently claimed that eradicating transgenderism is not a call for eradicating transgender people, and demanded retractions from numerous publications, including Rolling Stone. Aaron Reed, a transgender rights activist and writer, tells Rolling Stone that's an absurd distinction. There's no difference between a ban on transgenderism and the attack on transgender people. They're one and the same. There's no separation between them. Okay.
Only Siths deal in absolutes.
Right. When people claim a 3-year-old can tell you they're actually a girl or they're actually a boy, even though their body says something totally different. Now, I remember when I was probably about 5 years old, maybe 6, 4, 5, 6, somewhere in that area. My mom got me a Superman cape. It was one of those things, it had the cape plus the front piece that came down, and it had the Superman S on the front of it, right? And then the big cape on back. And I climbed up on the kitchen table and jumped off like, in that Superman position and landed on the floor in that same position because I thought that I was Superman. I put that red S on. I put on that red cape with the S on it, and I was now Superman. My mom was mad at me because I got a bloody nose and got blood all over the kitchen floor that she had to clean up. I remember that to this day. Kids think they're stupid things. Just as I thought I was Superman, and there's no way I could make my body become Superman. There's no way. And Buck Angel, the transest person on the planet. Exactly, nobody. Just because you pretend to be something or think you might be something, that doesn't make you it. And people like Buck Angel, people like Blair White, Blair White was a boy, and I mean, I showed a picture. Did you see those pictures of Blair White posing with the gun, where
Yep.
she's in a bikini?
Yep.
And when I told my wife that was a man, she freaked out. I showed her a picture of Buck Angel. When I told her that person was born a woman, she just, she first told me, you're just trying to pull one on me. She didn't call me a liar, but she did everything else but. She stopped just short of that.
Yep.
Yeah, I was transcriptonian. Yep. That's right, Green Badger. But yeah, there's all you can do if you honestly, and I believe Blair White, I believe Buck Angel, because they put the time and effort in and the money into becoming what they believed they were. And I still say it's a mental illness. And Chaos Eve, if you listen to my show, I respect you and I like you a lot. I think you're a great person. You're I love listening to you when you stream. But I still think, and you're not going to convince me otherwise, that this is a mental illness that needs to be treated. There's something wrong with the brain's wiring at that point. I'm not saying that you should be shunned. I'm not saying you should be hospitalized. I'm not saying any of that. But we have gotten beyond the Tumblr people, the Tumblr effect, when we start having parents saying that their 4-year-old or 5-year-old thinks that, they're really a girl when they're a boy, or vice versa. And for some reason, it always seems to be the most liberal of people whose children are that way. And I now, I'm not going to speak for Michael Knowles, but the way I took him saying that we have to eradicate this idea of transgenderism is that we got to stop pushing it. We got to stop, pushing this on our children. Like that.
That's the way I took it as well.
Hold on here just a second.
I hear your phone buzzing. Somebody's phone is a buzzing. So, okay, seeing how he's out, guys, what do you think? Think Michael Knowles was calling for the eradication of all trans people, or was he saying, hey, we got to quit forcing this stuff on our kids? Let's see the chat light up with answers.
Okay. I've got to go sign for some medicine real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, go sign. Go sign. I'll keep on. And of course, he keeps this thing playing. La la la. All right. So what do you guys think? Are we being crazy here or what? Or is the world crazy and we're the only sane ones? That's what I want to know. Yeah, stop pushing it was my impression as well. Yeah, see, I think that's what he was saying. Let's quit pushing this on the kids. Let's, quit with all this, stunning and brave bullshit and pushing it in schools and all that kind of thing. Nah, needs to be addressed. So, in what way does it need to be addressed there, CK? Yeah, so I agree with you that things do definitely need to change. Um, what in the hell? Yeah, so with that being said, let's go here. What else we got going on? Yeah, so you know, I think we need to do more work. Maybe bring back some of the asylums. Not so much the electroshock, water, you know, water torture asylums, but I do think asylums should make a comeback.
I wouldn't mind seeing electroshock come back for some of these people. Maybe
Yeah, okay.
shock them back
Oh,
into reality.
okay. The mental illness side and the molestation and rapes in trans lives, it's a dark world. Oh, I can imagine. Yes, I can imagine. I agree with you. Okay, so CK, now that you've clarified your position a little bit more, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, that's the thing, clarity over agreement. And it is a dark world, that's the thing. You see, and that's the thing with liberty versus tyranny, you know, liberty is mandatory. We got to have it, but it is risky. It's a risky proposition, bad stuff in a free world, bad things happen. And a lot of people they think that by making the world safer, they're making it better. But, it's not always the case. Not always the case.
My
Sorry, I was just keeping going while you were gone. So.
I've been listening the whole time. That's one thing I love about these new headsets. I made it all the way out to my
Ah,
front gate and was still able to listen to you.
okay.
All right. The issue I've got here, all right, and yet you're right. Freedom and liberty versus tyranny. But at what point, right now, though, with what's going on in our schools, there's, liberty has become tyranny. All right. The liberty of because the educators, they're bringing in their own stuff that you and I would never know about our teachers when we were in school. These teachers talk about freely now and to their classmates, to their students, not their classmates, but to their students. We never knew who our teachers were dating. We never knew who our teachers were sleeping with or wanted to sleep with or who they preferred to sleep with, because that was a restriction, a lack of freedom on the parts of the teachers. They were not allowed to discuss that in the classroom. And now the teachers have got that liberty to do so and damaging our children. That's okay. So am I making myself clear?
Yeah, I just think the way you went about saying it was a little weird, but okay.
Okay. Well, I
So,
mean, they've taken liberty and turned it into a tyranny because they're destroying our children with it.
what they are doing is using their liberty to be tyrannical. So, that being said, um, there's liberty, and freedom, right?
All right.
But there's still, yeah, see, I don't really have a good way of saying it, but yeah, in that respect, you are correct because they are free to say and do whatever they want to in the classroom, that they are brainwashing our children. So that I do get.
And too much of
And
any.
that's one of the risks of freedom.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, anytime you try to put a restriction on that, well, why are you being so tyrannical on us?
Exactly.
And it's like, well, we can't, just like a car can't have a set of brakes. You can't have a bicycle without a set of brakes on it. You can't have,
I
mean,
wouldn't want a
even roller
bicycle or a car
skates.
without brakes.
Even roller skates have got a braking system.
Yeah.
So, everything has got limitations to it. And the left loves to talk about the limitations of our Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
All right. What about the limitations of what they can do to our children? What they can espouse to our children? What they can discuss with our children? Because the one thing the left is in love with this idea of children don't belong to the parents; they belong to the state.
Right. Takes a village.
Right. It takes and now again though here see now like when I was a kid, all right, if my neighbors saw me doing something wrong, my neighbors called my parents and told them.
Yep.
If anybody in my hometown saw me doing anything going wrong, one, they stopped me and sent me home. And two, by the time I got home, my mom or dad was standing there with the belt in their hand ready for me. So in that way, in that scenario, it does take a village.
Yes. That's a lot different than the state raising your kids, though.
Exactly. This was the neighbors, correcting me or stopping me from doing something wrong and notifying my parents so they could apply the corrective action.
Yeah, no, they were just calling you out, man, because they saw you
Yeah,
doing something that you knew you weren't supposed to do.
right.
And see,
That broke the norms of the village that I grew up in.
right, but see, that's a lot different than, the police state kind of thing, right?
Right. Again,
Because
though,
that's
it's that,
people getting together to, um, it's not, I don't want to say enforcing, but it's people getting together to ensure that everybody is not infringing on other people's rights and that sort of thing.
so I mean we've got a lot of work we need to do.
We do. A lot of work.
Okay. And I'm not certain how all this is going to come apart because
But
we've
you know it is. You know it is.
and it's scary. Again, I mean, like I said, I've got a grandson to be concerned about. I'm no
Yeah.
longer concerned about my son or my daughter-in-law. I know how they've turned out. Now I've got a grand way that I've got to be concerned about. So, and and speaking of people with mental illness, okay,
Yeah, that's a hell of a segue. You know that, right?
yeah, I know it is.
I'm just
but,
waiting for the name to pop up.
okay,
AOC.
non-binary Oklahoma lawmaker censored after protest arrest.
Censured.
Yeah, censored.
Censured.
Now, when I saw this headline, the first thing that popped to my mind was an officer and gentleman. The only thing that comes out of Oklahoma are steers and queers, and I don't see no horns on
Horns
you.
on your head. Yeah.
Oklahoma Republicans formally censured their non-binary Democratic colleague Tuesday after state troopers said the lawmaker blocked them from questioning a transgender rights activist accused of assaulting a police officer. Okay. And then it just says during, da 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 da. All right. Okay. During a protest over anti-trans legislation. The party line vote means Representative Marie Turner, who uses they, them pronouns, will be removed from all committee assignments unless the second-term lawmaker issues a formal apology, including to the Highway Patrol, which provides security at the Capitol complex. Now, this is the first article I've read that did not label her as black non-binary lawmaker, because they all make an issue of her being black or them being black or they being black, however in the hell that works. Turner, the first openly non-binary and Muslim. Well, I bet she is just loved in her mosque.
Yeah, I didn't think they went in for that stuff.
Right. Elected to the legislature in Oklahoma said Tuesday that won't happen as Republicans continue to strip away the rights of trans people. What rights are being stripped away from them?
Yeah.
What right? There's no rights being stripped away. They still have all the same rights as everybody else do.
They're
do.
Just what they want is special rights. Yeah. What they want is special rights.
They're not getting any special rights.
Which is a lot different than having rights stripped away from them.
Turner's announcement comes as Republicans throughout the U.S. push proposals that advocates for LGBTQ rights. Whew. Okay, wait a second. Right. See, this sentence doesn't make any sense. Republicans throughout the U.S. pushes proposals that advocates for LGBTQ rights, say are trying to erase the legal existence of people who are trans or restrict the expression of people who are non-binary, gender fluid, or perform in drag. Okay, the only thing I can see here is nobody has the right to discuss their sexuality with children. And nobody has the right to act in a sexually obscene manner in front of children. We don't allow children into strip joints. You have to be at least 18 to buy men's magazines.
Yeah.
Okay. Loosely speak, to use a term which no longer applies, I guess. What do they call them now?
I have no idea.
So,
because I don't think they even exist anymore because you can get all this stuff for free on the internet.
Right. Children should not have their bodies taken away, the rights, I guess, of having children permanently deform their bodies through surgical or chemical treatments. So, I call that protecting children. I don't call that restricting people's rights.
I don't think that's taking anybody's rights away. That's called protecting kids.
In Oklahoma, recent efforts by the GOP-controlled legislature to prohibit gender-affirming medical care for trans children and pass other anti-trans. They're not anti-trans.
Yes, well, that's how they write. That's how the propagandists write things. Because now it gets in people's head that they're anti-trans, which they're not.
Including a prohibition on insurance coverage for gender affirming care for people of all ages. Of course. I mean, who is
Yeah.
going to say that
That just makes
somebody
insurance
under the
more
age of
expensive for the rest of
18?
us.
Who's going to say somebody under the age of 18 has? I mean, you have to be 18 to get a damn tattoo.
Yeah.
Even a parent can't let a 17-year-old get a tattoo. Parents can't allow a 17-year-old to join the military. They can't allow them to get a tattoo. You have to be 18. A parent can't allow an 18-year-old to buy a pack, or a 17-year-old to buy a pack of cigarettes or a bottle of beer. So why should a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old be able to permanently damage their body through elective surgery or chemical injections? All right. One protest last week became heated when a protester was accused of pouring water on a state representative and scuffling with the trooper before being arrested. Officers wanted to question the activist who is inside Turner's legislative office. When we go up to the representative's office, we were not allowed in, even from opening the door. Officers were ultimately able to speak to the person in Turner's office, who was later arrested on a complaint of assault and battery on the police officer.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. The Speaker of the House says, I will not allow members of the House of Representatives to use their assigned offices and official positions to impede law enforcement from carrying out investigations or making arrests in the state capitol. But Turner, who is black and represents a diverse constituency that includes Oklahoma's Asian business district, said one of their goals is to make certain all people are welcome at the Capitol. Yeah, you're welcome at the Capitol as long as you're not trying to escape or evade the police. Anybody's welcome to go to the Capitol. You just can't use it as a sanctuary to get away from the police. Like, I don't know if they still do it, but police used to not be able to enter churches to arrest someone.
I don't know if that's still the case or not.
Yeah, I don't know if that's still the case or not either. But, you couldn't enter a house of worship, a church, a synagogue, a temple, anything like that, a mosque, to make arrest. So Turner says, I provide my office as a space of grace and love for all folks of all communities that seek refuge from the hate in this building. Trans people don't feel safe here. Now, the Democratic leader says it's clear what they're trying to do is silence a member who does not think like them, act like them, dress like them, who challenges their positions, especially when they're running legislation to harm the people in our community. They're protecting children from people in your community. What is so hard to get your mind around the fact that children must be protected from adults?
Well, because they don't see it as kids being protected. They see it as kids being denied the right to be as stunning and brave as they are.
It just doesn't make good sense to me.
Yeah, glad. Yeah, you're right. They are a pedo group.
Okay, let's see here. Let me catch up here on chat real quick. What is non-binary? Yeah, really, CK. I mean, and gender fluid. I mean,
the whole The whole world is binary. It's either a 1 or a 0.
These people are trying to take the most obscure illnesses, the most obscure ideas. Yeah, 1 minute you're a man, the next minute you're a woman, and a minute later you're a man again. Where does that happen?
I would like to know.
I would love to see somebody transition right there in front of me. Let's get it on tape. Let's get a recording of somebody transitioning from man to woman back to man again.
It's all based on your feels.
And the thing they want to talk about the drag people, the people who support the drag shows. They say, well, look at in Greece, where women weren't allowed to be to act on stage, so men dressed up as women. Okay, that wasn't a drag show. That wasn't a man pretending that they were a woman and going out and being, acting in a provocative fashion.
Well, the term drag show is not what it used to be. Because back in the old days, drag shows were basically kind of like that ancient Greece thing, right?
It was people dressing up like Liza Minnelli pretending to be her.
Right, and singing, not,
Right.
doing strip tease and letting their junk hang out and stuff like that. So
Right.
back then it was kind of like, it was kind of like the ancient Greece, ancient Roman kind of thing, right? Where men were putting on a show. So yeah, back in the old days, it wasn't such a bad thing. I'm just saying, it wasn't.
You're right. It wasn't. I can remember some of these back in the 50s. Well, not the 50s, but back in the 60s.
I was going to say, how old are you, dude?
Back in the 50s. Well, I remember watching or reading, there was a, what?
Back when you put on your Sky King pajamas?
No, I never had Sky King.
That's because it was a 50 show.
Right. But I remember watching videos or film of the 30s, 40s, and 50s drag shows.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't even burlesque.
No, it was not.
It didn't even, and burlesque never got naked.
For the most part, that's true. For the most part, there were some burlesque shows where, but yeah, for the most part, it was not. Burlesque wasn't just the girls either. It was, you had comedians and
right.
Jugglers and stuff like that as well. And there was some quite risque.
At worst, there may be a booby flash. You may saw a nipple.
Yeah. For the most part, it was quite risque, but it wasn't, a straight up strip show or anything like that. No.
Right. And Becca, you're right. Drag shows were for adult entertainment only.
Yeah, they weren't meant for kids. Back in the 50s and 60s, nobody was taking their kids to a drag show.
And I'm not going to show the videos, but we've seen the videos of what these current drag shows are like that they're doing for the children.
Yeah, that's not even real drag. That's
that's what they're calling drag.
Yeah, it's depravity.
That is straight up sexual, sexually assaulting the kids. I mean, any adult doing that 30 years ago had been in jail for sexually assault on a child. So that is just absolutely disgusting. It really and truly is. Trans people are under attack by extremists who are basically trying to limit their private best practice health care. No, we're just saying that children, anybody under the age of 18, cannot make the decision to deform their bodies, a permanent deformation of their bodies until they're at least 18 years of age.
Yeah.
And I want to use the same logic that the left uses when it comes to firearms. They want to make firearms illegal to purchase or anything else until you're 21. All right, because your mind isn't. And see, the pure hypocrisy of the left on this amazes me. They say your mind isn't adjusted enough, informed enough, isn't mature enough to own a firearm until you're 21, right? But they want to allow 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds to vote. They want to allow 8-year-olds to take puberty blocking medications. And these have got lifelong permanent reactions to the body. Can never be repaired, can never be reversed. And let's just use, and I heard somebody else use this the other night, comparison the other night. People are now getting their Harry Potter tattoos covered up because they no longer want to associate themselves with Harry Potter because they've changed their minds. How about the person who has their genitals mutilated and 5 years later changed their mind?
Yeah. Kind of hard to change your mind at that point.
A woman who has her breast cut off. Sure, she can get implants, but those aren't real breasts. They're just implants. They're prosthetic.
Well, they can look like the crazy Canadian.
Right.
Sorry.
She's had her she's grown a fake penis on her forearm and had it attached.
You know what that operation's called?
You mean the addictomy?
Yeah. That makes me giggle.
Yeah, it makes me giggle too. But these, and then 5 years later, they've taken the hormones to grow beards and mustaches and to deepen their voices. They'll never sound like a woman again.
Nope.
So,
they didn't let him vote either.
That's why you don't let children make these decisions.
That's right.
You don't and parents should not be allowed to make that decision for the child either. Should not be allowed to mutilate their child's body. This is one of the times where I feel the state does need to step in and prevent a parent from damaging a child's body.
See, um, I would never, ever, ever, ever um, say that that liberty is totally without any rules or anything else, because that's anarchy. That's different than liberty.
Right.
So, yeah, there does have to be guiding principles and that sort of thing.
Okay, and let's see here. Let's get on to the next one here.
Let's
And
do
Gavin Newsom.
gruesome Newsom.
He's a little angry at Walgreens.
Well, he can go piss up a rope.
Gavin Newsom says California is done doing business with Walgreens,
I think
Brand,
Walgreens is done doing business with them.
branding it a company that cowers to extremists. And what has Walgreens done that is so bad, so despicable?
Horrific.
California Governor Newsom is going to war with Walgreens over the company's decision to stop selling abortion pills in 20 states.
Oh no.
California won't be doing business with at Walgreens or any company that cowers to extremists and puts women's life at risk. We're done. Newsom did not elaborate on how far-reaching the business ties are between the state of California and Walgreens, or what he specifically plans to roll back. A spokesman for Newsom told the Insider that California, not Newsom, but the state itself, is reviewing all relationships between Walgreens and the state. We will not pursue business with companies that cave to right-wing bullies pushing their extremist agenda, or companies that put politics above the health of women and girls. Walgreens has 586 stores in California, more than any other state, and behind only Florida with 820 and Texas with 701. Newsom's feud came after the company said it would not dispense mifepristone.
Yep.
Okay, did I get close on that?
Yeah, you did. You did pretty good.
All right, an abortion pill in 20 states. Walgreens told the Insider it intends to seek FDA certification to distribute mifepristone only in jurisdictions where it's legal and operationally feasible. So, this drug is, for one reason or another, going to be illegal in 20 states. So Walgreens is saying, okay, great, we're not going to sell it in those 20 states. And Newsom is mad about it.
Wow. Like I said before, you know what he can do.
This just makes no sense whatsoever. There are things illegal in California that are legal in every other state.
Yep.
Should every other state take a ban towards these companies because they are following California state law?
Exactly. See, and that's the point that he's missing. This is all just grandstanding.
Well, we know that he's got presidential aspirations now. He's been to Washington a couple of times when Sleepy Joe's been out of town. So he's building up a base. He's building up his insiders so that he can go out and I expect him to announce he's going to run against Joe. So, yeah, I mean, But anyway, just how is Newsome? It's not making good sense here. So anyway, and this article is it's not as badly biased as others have been on this. It's still slightly biased in Newsom's favor, but why carry what you can't sell nobody? You're exactly right. If you can't sell it in 20 states, why put it on the shelf in those 20 states, or allow it to be, if doctors, and this is it's not an over-the-counter pill. It has to be prescribed. So if it can't be prescribed in your state, why carry it? And okay, we'll cover. Okay, I've sort of screwed up here on the order I did things, but it is what it is. We're going to talk about your favorite subject now. Okay.
Guns?
Yes. U.S. judge strikes down Missouri gun law as unconstitutional. Don't cheer.
I'm not. I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. I
A
don't.
Missouri
I don't
law.
jump to.
The headline's slightly misleading.
Of course, it is.
A Missouri law banning local police from enforcing federal gun laws has been struck down as unconstitutional. Now, there's a lot of states and cities that have got rules in place forbidding local police from enforcing federal laws that have, when people have attempted to take those laws to court and have them struck down as unconstitutional, they lost. And the states, otherwise there'd be no such thing as sanctuary cities.
Yeah.
And sanctuary states. So I find this kind of ironic that this law suddenly, which basically, would have made the state of Missouri a sanctuary state from federal gun laws, is suddenly unconstitutional. That shoe on the left foot won't fit the foot, its mate won't fit the right foot for some reason. U.S. District Judge Brian Williams ruled the 2021 law is preempted by the federal government under the U.S. Constitution's Supremacy Clause. And I forgot to do this, so let me do this real quick. Let's see here. Okay, where is his Wikipedia? Nope, that's not it.
So they're saying it's unconstitutional for the police department to not enforce a law. That's what they're saying.
Right. And
yeah, okay. It's unconstitutional for the state to create a law that says the police department can ignore this law. But it's not unconstitutional for the police department to ignore the law, is what they're saying.
What they're saying is that the law is saying that the local police cannot help federal cops in enforcing the law.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, codifying that, I can see where that would be unconstitutional. But if the local police decide not to do it, then there's nothing unconstitutional about it, and they can shut the hell up.
All right. Okay. Yeah. This here's what. This gentleman is a Barack Obama appointee as a district judge.
Right.
All right. So, you know how you have to look up anymore to see who appointed the judges, because the left loves
Yeah.
a Trump appointee.
Yeah.
That's their favorite one. To tarnish the judge. Well, he was appointed by Trump, so what do you expect? Well, Wimes was appointed by Obama. At best, this statute causes confusion among state law enforcement who are deputized for federal task force operations, and at worst is unconstitutional. When local police can only be deputized by federal police, and you don't the local governments have the right to say, no, you cannot deputize you can't deputize my police to enforce to do your laws.
That is true.
You can't, because you're not paying their paychecks. These are our cops. They're our employees. It's like when your local sheriffs will often deputize local city police,
that's a totally different story, though.
Well, it's to allow the local police to operate outside of their city jurisdiction.
Right.
Okay, or to assist in the apprehension of somebody crossing multiple jurisdictions.
Right. Not only that, but see, that's deputizing, and it's not a coercive thing. It's a temporary. You're deputized until this operation's over. So in this whole judgment that's passed down, there's a lot more that we don't know that we need to know before we can really speak intelligently on it. But you're right. Just from what the article says, it seems very it doesn't seem good.
No, it's a judge coming in and saying that what is good in many, many other cities and states is no good in this state.
Yeah, it's okay elsewhere, but not here.
Yeah, what's constitutional in other states, even though we're all underneath the same constitution, what's constitutional in other states isn't constitutional here.
Exactly.
So,
it's almost like he doesn't know what the Constitution says.
Yep. Okay. No. I don't want that. Oh, I hate you, Fox News.
Clip it. Somebody clip it.
Okay. Let's see here. What time is it? All right. I'll save the other. Let's see. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'll save the other story for tomorrow's stream. Okay. Let's see here. You remember, who Rebel Wilson is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I keep getting her confused with someone else, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, she's an Australian comedian.
Now, this is that Pitch Perfect star.
Yeah, she's an Australian comedian.
Oh, okay.
Comedic actress. She is from Australia. She is from down under.
I keep thinking of that Wilson that used to be part of the, I guess, Mamas and Papas that lost all that weight.
No. So what you're thinking about is the daughter that was part of Wilson Phillips.
Right. Lost a whole ton of weight, and everybody got mad at her for losing the weight.
No, well, actually, nobody really got mad at her so much, but they did get mad at Adele, the British singer who lost all the weight.
Right.
But yeah, no.
Uh,
Rebel Wilson is an Australian comedic actress,
okay.
just so you know.
So Rebel Wilson said she was banned from Disneyland for a month for taking a bathroom selfie. Rebel Wilson has learned when it comes to the rule, Disney does not play around.
Yep, that's true.
The actress revealed on The Daily Show with somebody that I don't know that she was banned from Disneyland for an unauthorized selfie. I did get banned from Disneyland for 30 days because I took a photo inside of a secret bathroom, which is illegal at Disneyland.
Yes, it is. 'Cause
I didn't
people are
know
not
that
supposed to know about
Disneyland had
that.
secret bathrooms.
You probably also didn't know that they have secret bars and lounges and apartments.
All for the high muckety mucks who spend lots and lots of money.
Yeah, for famous people. Yeah,
Right.
so that they can enjoy Disneyland without um, any issues.
So Disneyland, said, hey, we have to officially ban you for 30 days. Okay.
Yeah,
So she continued, I got officially banned for 30 days. They called me up and said, Rebel, what 30 days do you not want to come to Disneyland because you're away filming a movie or something?
yeah.
So
So
they let her pick what 30 days.
yeah. So I mean, they were being accommodating. They were just, they have to mete out some sort of punishment because she broke the rules. But
It,
they're being very generous about doing it.
it's almost like when I was a kid, my dad said, okay, I did something that my mom didn't like, and my dad laughed at because it's like, okay, it's my son being himself and mom demanding a punishment and dad saying, okay, I've got to punish you. You've got to go to your room for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, banning
So,
me to my room for 2 hours was no problem because I had plenty of books in my room that I could spend 2 hours reading with no problem. If they wanted to ban me to a room, they'd ban me to, the basement or I got banned to their room a couple of times. Okay.
that suck. That would suck.
And you can't touch nothing in your parents' bedroom.
Nope.
You don't dare touch anything. So now that was the horrible punishment.
Yeah, that would be punishment right there.
But being sent to my room for 2 hours, that was no big deal because I had books and everything else in there I could do.
All my stuff's in my room.
Yeah. So my dad would laugh and, okay, go to your room for 2 hours. No problem. So he officially punished me. But did it feel like a punishment? Nah. Does Rebel feel like she's being punished? Not really.
At least you shun it.
She's not going to be in California for the next month anyway, during the month of June anyway. So, yeah, go ahead and tell me I'm not allowed to come to Disneyland in June. I'm going to be in Florida going to Disney World. Oh, God. That anybody who's allowed into these, like you said, into these secret bathrooms, secret apartments, secret bars, whatever. Yeah, the rules are there, but it's more like, please don't do this. It's not like the normal guys out there that if they don't like the shirt you're wearing when you go in, they take you over to one of their stands and make you buy a shirt and wear their shirt, which I've read a lot of reports on them making people do. So, anyway,
I hear a puppy yapping.
yeah, he wants to run. Something outside got his attention. But anyway, so I figured that'd be a good story to end up on, end the day
Yeah,
on.
that's
You know, something light and somewhat humorous.
you know, you always got to finish on the lighter side of life because otherwise things get too heavy.
Yeah, and I don't. As much as we get upset about all this other stuff that goes on throughout the days and everything else, that's a good joking story, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta
th-
gotta laugh at the world a little
yeah,
bit.
that's something that's like, okay, who really cares? You know,
Not
I'd
me.
love to see what the inside of this secret bathroom really looks like. I mean,
Well, go to Rebels Insta and you'll see it.
oh, is it in her Instagram?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
well,
it's a nice bathroom. I mean, you know, so what? I don't really
I,
care because I will never go to Disney. So
is the toilet look like Pluto's head or something?
I don't know.
Are you sitting on Mickey Mouse to go to the bathroom? That'd be weird.
You think?
Having a oh god, having a urinal in the designed like Minnie Mouse.
Now you're just getting weird.
Oh, God,
Uh,
I'm getting my brain is really going down some strange paths right
yeah, I
now.
think you need to do something different.
Well, I'm just thinking of all the Disney characters and how would they decorate a bathroom, in all Disney stuff. I mean, you've seen, people who are, these super fanatics, sport team fanatics or
Yeah,
college fanatics, and they've got, their, their toilet cover, their toilet seat cover, and the toilet bowl cover, in their favorite teams' logos and such. So it's like with all the money Disney has and how they design things, how would you, if you really wanted to design a bathroom for Disney, what would you do to make every aspect of it? You have uh, Mickey's head, where you twist the right ear for hot water, the left ear for cold water, right, and the water comes out of his mouth at the sink.
yeah, that's a little weird, dude. So I'm just thinking.
You're right, it is weird, but it's funny too. Think about it. Oh God, my brain.
Yeah, I don't know about you at this point. I'm just kind of.
Seven white. Oh, Snow White urinal. Nobody. Oh no. Have this. This seven dwarf having this dwarves. Oh no, 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 no. I'm not going there. Okay, I need to end this stream
Yeah, you do.
before I do anything. Got any words of wisdom before we go there, Dar?
Yeah, don't be weird.
I thought being weird was a fun thing.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah. Okay, don't be creepy. How's that?
Yeah, don't be. Yeah, there's a difference between being weird and being creepy.
Yeah,
All
be
right.
weird all you want. Just don't be creepy.
So
And
pull Goofy's tail to flush. Oh, okay. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say what the thought just popped in my brain. All right, everybody,
yeah,
have a
probably a good
good
idea.
one. Be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. We'll see you later.
Bye.